Welcome to Super Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today we have with us Donna Galloway. How are you, Donna?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We always like to kind of ask, no problem. We like to always ask our guests to kind of introduce themselves, what you're involved in, all the amazing stuff. It's better that you tell the tale yourself.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Well, I'm Donna Galloway, and I am a co-owner with my husband of 746 Shop, which is an experience destination in the Kawarthas. So it has grown up quite a bit along the way. It started out as a little wee ice cream destination, and we grew it to have a bricks and mortar store. We've added a food truck. There's area for people to sit. And then along the way, we've also added online apparel. So we have our own apparel brand, and we like to proudly show the Kawarthas in our apparel.
That's nice. So it's like an online shopping, I guess, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
So do you manufacture those products yourself, or is it sourced?
So they are designed by us. They're designed in Canada, and for the most part, where we can, manufactured in Canada.
Oh, that's great. But if something you manufacture predominantly in Canada.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you have anything you can show us with you right now?
I do. Is it okay if I use the camera for a second?
Of course. It's all, we're two friends. Don't worry.
I never even thought to have them readily available.
It's okay. We're enjoying your office, so it's okay.
Yes, I have a nice paradise to keep me motivated.
It looks like you like plants.
Yes. I think they give you a nice little
I have
feeling.
a question. I have a question about that. Do you speak to them?
Sometimes I do.
It's very important.
Looking a little off.
Yeah, it's very important because plants, like anything, is energy, right? Everything is energy. So when you actually communicate and you go close to them, you can give them power. You can give them energy. So they actually flourish with human connection. So it's really important that you do that. That's great.
Absolutely. And they give back.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we're sponsoring the Kawarthas.
Can you bring
area.
it closer?
I sure can.
Okay. All right. Making
so
memories.
This one.
Yeah. Lake Scugog. Okay.
All right. So we try to understand what happens and what the lake is known for. And
that's a nice one. I like that design.
This is one of my favorites too. And this is Buckhorn Lake.
1830, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we have them in different colors type of thing. And then we have our Sturgeon Lake, which is known for fishing.
Oh, cool. Do you get people from from the States and all over Canada as well? Or
yes, we do. We absolutely do. So the corner is a draw for, we get local people that come as well, but it's also a draw for cottagers. They actually reroute their destination to be able to stop in and let their kids, dogs out and enjoy the experience. And Balsam Lake is another one that we proudly show. And then of course we have this is one of our popular, we just reintroduced it. And we can't keep that one online, I think, because it has the nice red and Kawarthas down the sleeve and such. So yes.
So that's beautiful. Thank you. And thank you for sharing that. So what's the history behind Kawarthas? Like why did you guys select a store there, and why do people go there that much? I've been there as well, but just for the audience sake, so they understand better.
Absolutely. We like to think of the Kawarthas as the Muskoka replacement. Everybody always thought of the Muskokas, but the Kawarthas has a lot to offer as well. And the Kawarthas have really a lot of lakes and tourist attractions and such. But ultimately, Dave and I grew up in the area. So we're familiar with the area. We have our home roots here, and we know a lot of people that also have their roots in the Kawarthas and are quite proud. So we have good affiliation with Karwatha Lakes Conservation, and then of course we know people within the city of Karwatha Lakes, and it just made sense that we should show it proudly and let the cottagers also wear it proudly.
Of course, they're amazing. So has COVID affected the industry and what you do?
It has somewhat. We had to have a late opening last year due to the rules that were put in place. We had a design where you had one door for in and out of the bricks and mortar. So we had to create an in and out door. We had to move our ice cream scooping area to an external window where you could stand in line outside and such. So it was the lineups that we were really challenged with, and we wanted to make sure that the safety was put in place and adhere to the 6 feet.
And then what about like online shopping? That must have increased?
Yes, it did. It did. And we did a pivot there. We were originally, we were quite geared up to bring in tour buses, to be more of a souvenir type of destination. And people were very excited, and we're drawing in people from countries around the world and quite enjoying it. So then we decided to focus more on, the people who needed to get out, wanted to get out and enjoy the destination, but also support us. So it's worked out well, and the online ramped up with our Kawarthas series and the other apparel that we've introduced. And now we've actually got Billabong in. We went forth and applied with them, and we're excited to announce that we're listing Billabong now. So we're going to carry their clothing. Are you familiar with Billabong?
No, I don't. I mean, it's a brand.
It's a brand, yes. And younger people love it. It's more of a skateboarding, surfing.
Oh, I'm not aware of it. Sorry.
Oh, you're not?
No, personally not, but I bet they're in the audience. People know about it for sure.
Yeah, no, it's quite a coup for us. We're quite pleased to be able to get through that application process.
Oh, that's great. So then for online and storefront, you'll be able to sell that then, right?
That's correct. That's correct. So this spring we'll be launching that.
Mm-hmm. So were you always like in the business sense, or was it something that you kind of fell into?
My background is software development and a technology background, and specifically for online banking. So I have a good appreciation of the technology, and we were able to apply that again to the corner. We made sure we had debit machines in the food truck. We've got a database in the back, so we know what's popular, and we're able to manage that more in understanding the data and understanding what your sales are, so that you can grow them and know what you should or shouldn't carry and make those changes.
Yeah, for me, like I absolutely respect and I adore people that have these businesses all over, and I want to bring them out. I want to try to help as much as possible to bring the awareness, because the more attention we can get, because it's unique, right? It's different what you guys are doing. It's not like your typical city type of thing. It's something that people could go out and experience this, the city, Kawarthas, and the shopping, like these things are unique, and there's something special about them.
Yeah. And our staff has made it even more special. We were able to give them projects each summer. And one that comes to mind is we created a fairy village. So a team came in and created little tiny houses, hid them in locations around the trees and such, and asked kids to leave notes. And so the amazement when they wander around, it's kind of built like a park, and we have flower beds and these hidden fairy village houses, and they'll go and open the little doors and look in, and they just absolutely love it. And to hear them go, or Mom, come look at this and check this out. And they want their brother and sister around them, and it's awesome. And they act.
That's awesome.
Like they'll return weekly and they'll act like it's the first time they're seeing it. They're just so excited again to be part of it.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. And do you miss software development?
No, I've been able to keep that going as well. I'm quite fortunate. We have a strong team, and we have a lot of people there. So I still keep that going on the side, if you will. And
what do you do for that? What do you develop? You develop something?
Well, we develop banking software.
Oh, that part that you were talking about earlier. So that you do in-house. So you sell it
No,
to...
I'm not doing that in-house here. I work for a company.
Oh, you work for a company.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you're
I support
employee and
them.
it's a nice mix, employment and employed.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Would you consider leaving that and expanding what you're doing in the business world?
Well, it keeps growing, and I often tease my CEO. I call this the pension.
Yeah.
Say it keeps growing. So we'll see. I'm fortunate to have that love, and I think one complements the other because I'm their chief marketing officer.
Yeah.
And so it helps me to market here and understand and also groom our team, like groom staff and help bring in those processes.
Wow,
so it's the best
great.
of both worlds.
Yeah, it's a nice mix. Nice mix. And so what's the biggest challenge you faced in the past? Like what's the biggest challenge that you faced and how you overcame it? Like do you recall some type of challenge that you had experienced in the past?
Yeah, there are quite a few. If I think about the business and as we're growing it, it is so easy to get distracted with, you've got the plan and you think of something else. You have that entrepreneurial mindset. So this is what we should be doing. And so we introduce our own challenges by actually diverting off plan and chasing the next twinkly stars or the next big bright lights and such. So we've decided to really hone in and make sure that we have the plan for the year and stick to it and hold each other accountable, hold us honest to it, because all of a sudden you'll be talking about, okay, this is what we're going to do. And it's like, wait a minute, is that in the plan? Because you're going to shoot yourself in the foot and it's going to be a hobble through the rest of the season trying to build another business. And that's what you tend to do, I think, as an entrepreneur, is create little mini businesses within the business unintentionally, but you get excited about where there could be, profit and you could hire more people and you can do more good. So you create these little tiny businesses. And one time when one was created, we had to, COVID was a catalyst to dismantling it, but that would be the biggest challenge, is that a mini business within the larger one was a lesson learned because it had to be removed, and there's cost to it, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So the 746 shop, is it 746shop.com or .ca? I forgot.
We have it as shop746.com.
Shop746.com. Okay, great. And so are those products that you showed, and you must have a lot more, but do you source them from other people as well, or is it just everything by your design and your creation?
It started out with our own design and our creation, and we were having a supplier issue. So we haven't been able to get in the supplies. So that's why we reached out to the other brands to figure out what would support the lifestyle brand that we're trying to promote and making sure that the product had synergies. And that's why we've introduced a few lines that complement our line, but we want to continually grow ours as well.
Oh, that's excellent. Has it got a nice mix? Yeah. So we always like to ask our guests about like you're doing amazing stuff, like whatever you're doing is great. And, you're providing a uniqueness and difference in shopping, especially when it comes to these kind of products from these small towns and small areas, especially when you have so many lakes, people love that. But to get to this place in your professional life and like your work life and the business life, what do you feel that is your inner superpower that got you to this point?
It's a good question. I am a good listener, and I'm able to make people feel heard. So I not only listen, but I also then ask questions and hone in on what they're saying, what they're asking, what they want to complete, and the whys around it, but also absorbing that information, and they leave feeling empowered with being heard. And that we've got a plan of action.
It's an
And I
art,
think that's
right?
huge.
It's an art.
It's so huge.
Art of
Seeing that.
listening, right? Like a lot of people, kind of tune out, and it is art. I find it an art to thoroughly listen, understand, comprehend. So that's a great inner superpower. Thank you so much for sharing it. Do you have any recommendation for anyone that's working in a job or thinking about business? Do you have any kind of unique recommendation that you can help or serve someone with?
Yeah. I'm a mentor for a Futurepreneur program. So I've seen the extremes of mentees that are looking for help. And a common denominator is really having a good business plan and understanding and having it written down, like going through that effort and looking at it, but also being honest with yourself with what things will cost and how long it will take. And then and then not trying to think you're going to do it all at once, looking at how you can look at that plan and take it in bite-sized pieces and accomplish them. And then all of a sudden you've accomplished what you needed to do and you're on to the next set of accomplishments. And it's interesting to watch people who truly have a passion for what that idea is. And then to bring it into action, they're so incredibly proud and want to get it going. And then it's making sure that they can keep it going and maintaining it. As I'm sure you know, businesses can start up and then a year or two, you're wondering why you did it. There's a lot of slugging, sweating tears.
Well, it all comes
maxed out.
It also comes back to mindset too, right? A lot of it. That not having that foundation, not believing, not knowing, is that doubt and fear and a worry that gets a lot of them. And sometimes people just give up way before they need to, because business is beautiful. It's amazing, but it's also scary too, right? It's not that easy. Like you have to have a really strong inner being to go into this. And what you're sharing right now, that's amazing. Good, great advice. Like that's something that people need to know and need to understand, plan for.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's also the energy and mindset that you bring into the room. So you can bring a room down, you can bring a room up. It's really you entering that room and deciding.
Yeah. You be part of that energy or bring your own energy, right? Kind of thing. Yeah. Excellent, Donna. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show. It was amazing talking to you about all this stuff. And I genuinely, when I met you first time, like it was really, for me, I wanted to bring this message out to as many people as possible, especially when borders are going to start opening up. COVID is going to kind of be a historical thing. People start coming out. By the time this is published, hopefully people will come and see what you're doing, to support you guys in the city, check out all the nice lakes. So I hope that you continue to serve people, and it's been an honor to have you on the show.